We'll talk Hazen for a bit. As far as his nutrition, pretty much milk. He was always crying. We kind of determined that may have been because he was so hungry.
Hazen was born and everything was fine. And then he just was nursing nonstop. And I felt like something was not right. We took him in. Doctor had asked me, so what is your nutrition like? And I said, I haven't even paid attention to it. And he said, okay, the next 2 weeks, I want you to eat all of the things, everything you can eat. As soon as I increased my calories, he started gaining weight.
People ask how it's like having 2 kids. And like the thing that I say the most is 0 plus 1 equals 1. 1 plus 1 equals like 10. At least it seems that way with us.
I don't feel that way. I feel like, I mean, it might feel that way for you, but I feel like it's 2. I feel like I have 2 kids, but I'll tell you what, when you only have one of them, whether I just have Rigel or I just have Hazen, it's so easy.
Yeah.
Like already it's so easy to just have one kid. And I'm like, whoa, like how did I spend my time before I had a baby? What did we do all the time? Because now I just feel like I just have someone on me all the time, and you know that about having a baby, but you forget how consuming it is.
Well, I feel like when we had Rigel, since there was just one, if you ever needed to do anything, I could take Rigel. If I ever needed to do anything, you could take Rigel.
Yeah.
Whereas now, if you ever need to do anything, I've got both. And depending on the state of mind Rigel's in, that may not really be feasible. I mean, for the longest, for like probably 2 months after Hazen was born, he was just super clingy.
It
like
was really
on the
bad.
boob or crying. There was no in between.
It was like until week 9.
Yeah. So like you couldn't even take a shower.
I could not. I don't.
You did.
I did. Well, I did showers. Yeah. I did take
take
showers, but it was so hard. Like I could just hear him crying the whole time I'm in the shower. So I'm just like rush showering. So like imagine trying to shave your legs or wash your hair. Like my hair is so long, you have to wash your hair. But it was just like, this is not even possible. Like if I just caught myself saying like, Robert just pointed out the other day, I'm going to butcher this whole podcast because now everyone's going to be listening to my likes. But Robert pointed out the other day how much I say like. So I'm now catching myself saying it all the time. Anywho, what was I saying?
Like probably you were talking about how you couldn't really do anything.
Yeah. Oh, if Robert wasn't outside or somewhere away from me with Hazen, it's just like I couldn't even focus on what I was doing. I just was like freaking out showering because it also like triggers something in a mom that is just I can't do this right now. You have to go be with your baby. It's just weird. I don't know.
Well, that only just recently shifted, and I feel like I've been actually able to bond with Hazen a little bit more because he lets me hold him now, whereas before he wouldn't do that without crying. So,
you guys, it was so hard.
Yeah,
because Robert could not even hold him. So I was just exhausted. I've been so like touched out, and just also sad to not be able to see Robert with our tiny, tiny newborn just snuggling. You did in the hospital.
Yeah.
And then maybe
pretty much literally hospital day and the next day.
Yeah.
And then from then on for like 9 weeks straight.
Yeah.
He was crying if he wasn't on the boob.
Yeah.
Full stop. No in between.
Yeah.
And that was a while. That was a long stretch.
It was
a long stretch. But I feel that we're just now coming out of that now. And like he
I feel
let
like
me
I've been
hold
good for a few weeks now. Like for like a month maybe.
Yeah, he let me hold him probably a good solid 20 minutes the other day in church with a bunch of other people. He wasn't griping at all then. And then he let me hold him last night while you were taking a shower for a pretty good bit. No fussing. There's been a few things that I could do to get him to relax a little bit prior to that. Like he does enjoy going outside.
Yes.
So if we take him outside, he literally calms down for a little bit. But now we'll put him on the mat down the floor and he'll play around. He rolled over pretty early on.
He did. He rolled over the week he turned 2 months.
Yeah.
However, he's very strong, but I do think that's partly due to him just being tight. And I had taken him to the chiropractor a week after he was born, then 2 weeks after he was born, and then every 4 weeks. So I think it's been a total of 4 or 5 times. And this last time was the first time that she actually got him to, because he was just scream crying every time someone else would hold him. We couldn't get him to relax enough to actually do any sort of releases or anything like that. They obviously don't like crack babies, but they do releases. They feel for tightness. They, all that kind of stuff. But this last one was the first time. And she's like, yeah, he definitely is tight. I'm like, I know. But he's been holding his head up since the very beginning, which some people are like, oh, your baby's so strong, but it's really, I think, just a lot of tightness. And then, he rolled over right at 2 months, right the week he turned 2 months, and I just was.
He does feel pretty strong though. Like I'll pick him up.
He is strong because even with the releases and stuff, even though he feels so much better since the last adjustment, but he is actually strong. Like he does have.
He holds his head up.
Yeah.
And he was holding his head up early.
And he's not even just resting on his elbows. He's like up on his hands.
Yeah,
like
he's
doing
in like push-up position. And if I hold him up, I don't let him support all of his weight, but I'll kind of test him to see how much he's supporting. And he's able to support pretty much all of his weight.
Yeah. I told Robert, don't do that. It's not good for the baby's hips. So
just
do that.
Test it. Just test it. Progressive overload, slight gradual.
No,
you're
not supposed to do that until they're at least 6 months.
Okay, well, he's going to be the athlete in the family. Rigel's going to be the farmer.
Only if you don't do things like that and jack up his hips.
Rigel's going to be the farmer, and Hazen's going to be the athlete.
We only say that because that's their tendencies right now. Rigel's convinced he's going to be a farmer. So
yeah, he wants to be a fireman too, though.
A farmer fireman, yeah.
Astronaut, farmer fireman, astronaut, a little bit of everything.
Mm-hmm.
I am curious to see what Hazen's interests are.
Mm-hmm. Me too. How different that'll be from Rigel.
So as far as we'll talk Hazen for a bit. As far as his nutrition, pretty much milk.
The only thing he has is milk.
Yeah, nothing new to talk about there. He was not eating. Talk about that. So he was always crying, as we mentioned, but we kind of determined that may have been because he was so hungry in the beginning. Because your milk supply from a volume standpoint was totally fine from the get-go, but we think that you may not have had much nutrition in there because you probably weren't eating enough early on.
Yeah. So I'll talk about that for a second. Hazen was born and everything was fine. And then he just was nursing nonstop. And I felt like something was not right. And
what was his weight when he was born?
9 pounds, 7 ounces.
And he wasn't really gaining weight rapidly per se in the very beginning.
Yeah. So we took him in and they weighed him. And because I told him, I said, he's just crying all the time unless he's latched. So I feel like he's not getting enough or something's going on. Like his stomach's upset. I don't know. And we essentially came down to the doctor had asked me, so what is your nutrition like? And I just was like, I haven't even.
Were you tracking at that point?
No. And I was so
obviously
there's a little bit of backstory too, is Robert doesn't take time off of work.
Yeah.
So I really didn't. 4 days postpartum, Robert went back to work. And
you made me sound like a.
No, this is just the facts. I'm not, we've already, we know, we got things figured out. But then my dad did come for a week, and that was so helpful. But
that's when we recorded the birth story podcast.
Yes. But I was not eating enough. I wasn't eating enough. The only meals I feel like I really ate is when my dad cooked me food, and which was wonderful to have him there to cook me food. But I was so busy keeping up with both of them. And this one was crying nonstop, and Rigel's 3.5. And so he has lots of energy, and it was just a lot. trying to keep up the house, trying to keep up with the kids, trying to heal my own body. Just all of the things. It just felt like a lot. And I neglected to eat well, which is weird because Robert and I are very nutrition based.
And you were eating all the good stuff. You just weren't eating enough of it.
Right. Yes. And so the doctor had asked me, what is your nutrition like? And I said, I haven't even paid attention to it. And he said, okay, for the next 2 weeks, I want you to eat all of the things, everything you can eat. And the thing is I was not hungry. And then he had me increasing my calories and I wasn't full. I wasn't full or hungry. I just ate because I knew I had to eat. So it was just, I was just eating. So it's just a very weird thing. Like a lot of people are ravenous postpartum because they're breastfeeding and they're just so hungry. But I feel like I don't know. I just feel like
you were just constantly in this sympathetic state. I mean, you were not in a rest and digest state. Right. So honestly, probably whatever you were eating wasn't really getting fully assimilated.
Right.
So you just chronically stressed.
Yeah. And I had a birth to heal from. And, you don't sleep very well when you have a newborn and all the things mixed together. So he wasn't really gaining weight. And that was 3 weeks after he was born. That we actually took him in, and then I got a scale for him and we weighed him every day. And as soon as I increased my calories, he started gaining weight like crazy. And the next appointment he went to, which was like 5 weeks later, he had gained, how do you say that? He had grown 3 inches long, which is crazy. And he's very long. I don't even know. He was 21 3/4.
What does he weigh now? Do you have any idea?
I don't know. I don't. I have to weigh him. Yeah. But he's chunking up for sure. He's long and he's chunky, and it's good. It feels really good. I had a really hard time after I left that appointment. I just was bawling because I thought this is all my fault. Like he's been screaming because he's hungry, and the thing is I had plenty of milk. I could get milk out at any point. He was getting milk. Even when I would weigh him before and after a feeding, he was getting milk. It just wasn't fatty enough. Like it didn't have as much fat in it. So I just didn't have like really any extra to spare. So it was just really watery milk. So yeah, that was a stinker in the beginning, but then he was gaining and doing fine. But then he still had weeks and weeks and weeks of crying, and we couldn't figure it out. Like his stomach never seemed like it was super upset. He was never upset when we laid him on his stomach. I don't know. He just had, it was hard.
Yeah.
And we never figured it out. He just grew out of it at about 8 weeks. And then by week 9, he was totally solid, normal baby.
Yeah. I feel like he's cool as a cucumber more often than not now.
Yeah.
Totally chill. What about you as far as, your, 4th trimester goes? Your intake's obviously higher now for the milk supply situation. Are you tracking right now?
No, I've been like tracking.
You've been pretty much eating the same thing every day. So you have coffee with a brick every morning.
Yeah. I do like a really fatty coffee. So I have like a really fatty coffee and a full brick. And then a little bit later, I've been making these like bagels with cottage cheese and almond flour and baking powder, and you bake it and then you put cream cheese on it. It was so good. And so I've been eating those, and then usually I'll have like a yogurt with berries or something in it, and then I have my meal with you in the evening, which is most of the time it's chicken. I have kind of a weird thing with red meat right now and eggs.
Yeah, you eat a lot of chicken.
The nutrient dense things that you need, I have a really hard time getting in, but I'm trying. So last night I just had eggs and it was delish.
I cooked those, by the way.
Yeah, Robert did.
But we fatten up your chicken too. Like we cook that with a bunch of butter, and then we put cheese on there, and you typically put one of the Primal Kitchen, avocado sauces. Oil sauces on there. So you're getting.
And I usually have it with riced cauliflower too.
Yeah. So that's good. Your intake's good. Thank you for watching this episode of The Savage Clip. If you want to see the full-blown deep dive, check out the full episode here, and I'll see you there.